India's Supreme Court is set to hear a key environmental case this week. It's regarding a proposal to define the ecologically sensitive Aravalli ranges in the northwest. Activists warn that the proposed classification could open the doors to extensive mining and construction, harming the biosphere and potentially worsening New Delhi's climate. The government rejects that criticism. Ishan Garg reports for CNA on what the proposal is and why it has stoked public outcry.
Save the Aravallis, save the nation. That's the call from these demonstrators protesting in Alwar, a city in western India. They say they are fighting against mining and construction in the Aravalli ranges that stretch about 700 kilometers from Delhi to Haryana in the north to Rajasthan and Gujarat in the west.
The whole of Aravalli should be declared as a protected biosphere across the 4 states, because it is not just about human lives. We understand the whole northern India is supported by Aravallis, but other than that, there is so much of wildlife inside. There's so much of, vegetation which is totally, peculiar to this belt.
Protests like these intensified in November last year when India's Supreme Court accepted a new definition of the Aravalli Hills proposed by the federal government-led committee. The panel's report included 2 key elements. First, it defined Aravalli Hills as those landforms rising 100 meters or more above the surrounding base area. Second, it said that 2 or more such hills within 500 meters of each other would qualify as an Aravalli range. The Aravallis are not like your typical towering mountain ranges, but they are believed to be some of the oldest landforms on Earth, and conservationists say that for that reason alone, they should be protected. Activists argue the new definition opens up 90% of these hills to mining. The Indian government dismisses those concerns. Environment Minister Bhupendra Yadav has asserted that less than 0.2% of the total landscape will be eligible for mining and that the rest of the Aravallis will remain protected. The government also says no new mining leases will be granted until a comprehensive management plan for sustainable mining is finalized. Its Strategic Minerals Mission has identified lithium and rare earth deposits in Aravalli adjacent areas, which are essential if India wants to reduce its dependence on mineral imports and build competitive global supply chains. Environmentalists say the Aravallis are crucial for groundwater recharge and act as Delhi's primary barrier against desert expansion from the west.
So it actually stops the dust from coming from the Thar. Of course, also a weather and a climate barrier in many, many ways. And very, very importantly, right now, the backdrop of all this conversation is high air pollution. So therefore, the significance of greens and the natural green and the natural forest that Aravalli actually presents is extremely important.
Following petitions and on-the-ground protests, the Supreme Court put its own ruling on hold last month and ordered the formation of a new expert committee to resolve what it called critical ambiguities before any definition is finalized. What the court decides in the next few weeks could not only impact the future of these ancient ridges, but also highlight how India balances its ecological future with its economic needs. For CNA, I'm Ishan Garg in Alwar, Rajasthan.